line, I have who we may know as Cousin Jeb Duke, Chris Hensel. How are we doing today, Chris?
Good. How are you doing?
Your claim to fame, Cousin Jeb. Great.
So, oh yeah.
So I'm excited to have you on. We were connected through, I think, your producer, and it's amazing to see what's going on with some of the stuff. So we are going to kind of start with you. Tell us about your acting career, how you got into it, and then we'll get into Dukes of Hazzard. We'll get into what you're doing now. So just kind of how you got started in that industry, what you're doing. That's
all right. Well, many years ago, I went to the University of Pittsburgh as an engineer major, right. And my daughter just graduated USC now as a mechanical engineer. After all these years, I didn't like engineering. My whole family was in it, so I went into some music and stuff, and I just took off after a couple of years and went to New York City. You know, I worked with Don Brockett in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Jeff Brockett on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Okay. And did a bunch of variety shows. So I sang and acted and danced right there in Pittsburgh, and then went to New York and started doing, some off-Broadway and things like that. And then ended up helping a director drive out to California and got into a big audition with the Dukes, and that started off my television career. So
wow, you're a rebel like me. My family's full of accountants. That's why I went truck driving, and I'm an artist. And get the heck out of that way, right?
Yeah.
So what was it like to be? I mean, Dukes of Hazzard. I'm a super big fan. I don't think I missed an episode. And of course, I'm sure most of the world's in love with Daisy Duke. So what was it like? What was it like to be on the show? Give us some of those. I don't know if you could share some of the background stuff maybe that happened or what.
Oh yeah, there was. It was just. It was always exciting. It was the beginning of the third season of the show, and typical Hollywood contract messes, this and that, and you get here and you get in there, but it was just a lot of fun. So. We did a lot on the Warner Brothers studio lot in Hazard County Square, and then we did a lot on a 2,000-acre farm about an hour and a half west of Hollywood,
okay,
where they did all the second unit shooting and all the stunts and the jumps. And then, Of course, the Boar's Nest, Uncle Jesse's Farm, all the, several scenes that are always cut out, like a dinner scene and things like that. And then always something happening in action. It just started my career, and the guys, everybody was super, super cool, super friendly, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. And it was something you got paid to do it. It was amazing. So.
Yeah. Now, do you keep in touch with these folks? That I'm sure the original series ended a while ago.
We just did a show. I just did a big show with Muscle King's Car Shows out in Bakersfield, California, with Tom Wopat, Catherine Bach. Wade Jennings, the grandson of Waylon, Rick Hurst, Byron Cherry, and myself. We were out there, and we had it was a beautiful, beautiful weekend, big racetrack, and over 6,000 people. It was a blast.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's a good segue, because my next question was going to ask what you're doing now. So it sounds like you're still on tour and still working in the area. Tell us what you're doing, because you've done everything from real estate to acting to musician. You've done a lot, right?
Well, we did. There are off times with an actor's career, as always. And I got started in music. I sang country music way back in the day, in the 70s. And then I got into Broadway and things like that. But then, I always went to New York, went to LA, went to Pittsburgh, auditioned all over because my family was to visit. And then I did real estate in between because,
you can.
But now what happened is about 9 years ago, I got throat cancer, so I can't sing anymore. Right. So, and now as you can hear, my voice is always rough. Good days and bad days, but I can't sing. So now I reinvented myself. I just finished a show in Kentucky, the Dream Motel with Chip Rossetti. And we did that. And then I met a whole bunch of people. So I'm going to film. What I did was I changed my whole career.
Okay.
And I wanted to do something kind of like an honoring of family-friendly TV and films like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
I wrote a kind of family, wholesome, faith-based, movie that you could bring the whole family to. And we're going to shoot it in Tennessee, Kentucky. And I'm going to Kentucky, as a matter of fact, Memorial Weekend. I'll be there all weekend. I got to look at my own thing. I'm going to be in Oak Grove, Kentucky.
Okay.
At the spring into summer salute to Fort Campbell.
Okay.
I'm going to be with Branscombe Richmond. He's a big, he was on the Renegades with Lorenzo Lamas, and he's a big advocate for film. Now, the film commissioner of Kentucky is going to be there. Several stars. Josh Turner is going to be singing Saturday night, May 25th. And I'll be there Saturday and Sunday, May 25th and May 26th, with a good friend of mine, Hazard Life, and Ken Mahan and his General Lee and the Hazard County cop car. And we'll have a whole bunch of pictures and memorabilia from Dukes of Hazzard. But then you got to remember also, Saturday mornings, I was Captain California on the Kids Superpower Hour. So half live, half cartoon. And I had another 14 songs on national television, and that ran for a couple years. So, but I'm writing. The reason why Jesus Cifuentes, my line producer from San Antonio, Texas, got a hold of you is because I'm looking for financing for this Salvage Yard Shine Boys, this coming of age music, car chases, a lot of truck scenes. I need a lot of trucks, a lot of docks. Okay. And then I wanted to tie it together with we haven't had a good American trucking movie since the 90s.
Right.
So I'm writing kind of combination of BJ and the Bear and Smokey and the Bandit and a good love story involving American trucking companies. Okay. So what we're doing is right now I'm going out there to meet with Branscombe and to meet with the Kentucky Film Commission and a lot of friends and people who are coming out to meet me who own trucking companies or auto parts or anything like that, because I'm doing independent low budget films, $1.5 million still.
It's not too low budget. I'm low budget, Chris. That's not low budget.
Whoever comes up, and I already raised a couple $100,000 in development money. We've got everything going. Now we're going after a $1.4 million production budget. Okay. And we're going to go. I have the number one film attorney. We're going to go nationally, and whoever finances this Salvage Yard Shine Boys, hopefully a trucking company, then I'm going to take my fictitious story and interweave it with their real story. Okay. And then I'll shoot it in Texas, Kentucky, whoever finances it.
Yeah. Gets it in their state.
Yeah, so, I can't wait because it's going to go bananas. So.
Yeah. So, okay. So I got a couple questions. We're going to get back to your movie here because I did have some specifics on your movie, but I wanted to talk about the genre for a minute before the trucking. So a lot of your stuff is Dukes of Hazzard style. You're just saying that. Are you just comfortable in that kind of genre, or is it because of that role that you kind of, some actors get stuck and they actually try to get out of that, like I'm always the comedy guy. I'm always the villain or whatever it is. I'm just wondering, is that, I mean, it's fine if you do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just wondering if that's what's caused you to kind of go down that road with the role of.
Well, I've always played the good guy.
Yeah. Okay.
And I like it.
Yeah.
I wanted to play the bad guy, but when I had hair, it was blonde, and so. But I was always, I'm a big 6'1", 250 big guy, so I get a lot of cop roles. I get a lot of preacher roles. Right. But it's just a lot of fun. And going back to these shows in Tennessee, Kentucky, California, Florida, Georgia, wherever we go with the other Dukes cousins and actors from there, the turnout of the fans that just love that show. I mean, and that's because it's friendly, family. Yep. Everybody helps each other. Yeah, there's a little bending of the law and a little, drinking and doing this and that, and a lot of music, but it's fun. Nobody, is out to really get anybody. And if someone needs a hand, people lend them a hand and help them for nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I want to bring back. know.
And that's great, because that's exactly what we need more of. And yeah, I'm thinking, that's why Saturday morning cartoons are so, Wile E. Coyote can jump off a cliff and he'll be fine. Like, no, he's not roadkill at the end of the day. So that's cool. Okay. So now let's get back to your film a little bit. Why the trucking industry? Other than trucks needed for the scenes, what's your experience in the trucking industry? Have you been in the trucking before? Do you know?
No, I have several friends that are in country music and trucking.
Okay.
And I love country music. I love American trucking businesses because I love Burt Reynolds. Dick Clayton was a good friend of mine, and he was Burt Reynolds' partner and manager many years ago in California. And it's just that trucking is the backbone of America.
Yeah.
So I wanted somebody, they're very, I'm not going to say they're wealthy people, but, people who build their businesses up from nothing is the American dream. Anybody can do it. And one of the biggest ones is American trucking companies, because they move everything. Everything is moved by truck across America, for America. So I thought that kind of twisted in with my Dukes of Hazzard kind of ideal.
Yeah,
going to make a great movie, and I already have the treatment, the love story, the connection, the two families, and so now I send that out with my proposals, and I have a lot of interest. And then all we do is, my attorney talks to them, we get it signed. So I'm hoping by the end of this month, we have a couple commitments, and then I can start filming, get Salvage Yard Shine Boys out by the end of the year.
Okay.
And that will help fund the trucking movie, and whatever trucking company that does want to come in completely, then we'll actually film at their main location, because I can write it about any place.